Today, we're going to be talking about karma is not real. People are just dumb. And today, I want to talk about that because it is a topic that occurs frequently. I hate saying hate. I dislike when people use the word karma, especially if they're not like using it to their advantage. It's like people use karma to hold them back from doing things a lot, things that are not illegal, that benefit them, and it never makes sense to me. I don't know why people are still so gullible, but they are. And that's why we have spaces like my channel today, because I don't want people to walk around actually believing that you will get karma for putting yourself first. You will get karma if you don't consider somebody else before yourself. It just, ugh, I don't know. But karma is an illusion. I feel like you can use karma in a way that has to make sense, right? If a man robs an old lady, you can say, if you want, he's gonna get his karma for that. But at the same time, if you are that person, right? For example, you maybe don't have any type of money, anywhere to go. You're going through a lot in life. You didn't hurt her, you just was like, give it to me. And you took it because it was a hard time in life. You may not get karma if you don't look at what you did as bad. Another example, women feel like if they receive money from a man without giving him anything, that they will get karma. If they don't give any type of money, if they don't, um, I don't know, do what he wants, whatever the case may be, they will get karma if they receive without putting back out. That is totally a mind thing. If you believe that you are undeserving, you don't have reasoning behind the things that you do, and you are just doing things to do it, then yes, you may walk around thinking that everything bad that happens to you is karma, but there's also just like the natural rhythm. Um things go up and things go down, and that's just what that is. I would never call that karma. And I say like all the time, I know a lot of people and have seen a lot of people in power, and they don't get their karma. We have a huge example of that with the case today, which is just a small example. But karma is most definitely an illusion. People are just dumb. People do sloppy things. For example, you could find easy ways to get paid for being yourself, or you can go and rob somebody and risk going to jail. Now, when you go to jail, you can say that that's karma, or you can use common sense and just say, maybe I was being stupid. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when people do things in very chaotic, uncontrollable, uh, impulsive ways, then yes, you can say that they're, of course, going to get a reaction because they're not thinking strategically. They are not having reasoning behind what they're doing. They're going just off of, do they even really know? They're going to say that they're upset, most likely. And finish that thought for yourself. Like, karma, or are you just doing really stupid stuff? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, like when I was younger, of course I thought karma was real, but as I um, grow, I see that there's just a natural rhythm to earth. Like I said, what must go up must go down. It shows in the season changing. Things might be very alive and active, then die, get very cold. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see it when the leaves start to fall and they get old and brown and they grow again. That is just life. And that's why alchemy and transmutation is so important to understand, because it's just like the seasons. The seasons grow, they fall, they die, and then they grow again and they blossom beautiful all over again. So, I mean, I think that people need to learn every day in every way how to make their mind work for them, because your mind is the only thing that you are living in. You're not living in anybody else's world or anybody else's mind. You are for sure creating your own reality constantly, I promise you. And it's about the actions that you take. And sometimes it's good. And that's why I always encourage people to learn how to be by yourself. A lot of people like friends and groups and partners, but it's really important to gain your own individuality so that you can think for yourself and see things for yourself. Um, and of course, go through, be able to be multi diverse in terms of your experiences in life and things that you see. Because when you're able to see a lot of different parts of life, you'll be able to understand a lot of different things. A cognital defect? What is that? Teach me today. But yeah, it's karma is something that I truly believe was taught to people to hold them back, to make them question themselves and live in fear. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Um, by the way, guys, I want to promote somebody. Hold on. If I can get out. Oh my goodness, this setup. I'm gonna get it later, whatever. But someone gave me some parsley today, and it was really good. And they have like an Instagram and everything, so I definitely want to promote it before I get out of here. But I'm gonna guess that it's indigo. I'm very soothed right now. If you believe in karma, why don't you tip at restaurants? Um, One, I don't believe in karma, and two, I usually well, I always tip at restaurants, but actually, I'm working on slowing down tipping. I feel like tipping is important, but it all depends on the service, of course. No, I always tip at restaurants, but in terms of like other services, like say, I always even tip for DoorDash and stuff like that. But say if I'm going to pick up food, I might not feel like tipping. Why do I not believe in karma? Because there's like natural watch I pay attention to the earth, because that will definitely reference your life a lot. And if you see the seasons change, you watch things blossom, then they start to die out and brown and fall and die, and then they grow again, and things go up and they go down. Even if you watch like um I don't know how to explain, like TV shows, or if you watch even biographies of people's life, you will notice things naturally go up and go down. I don't think anything has to do with karma. It's just that is life. Now, people are dumb and they do dumb things to get dumb consequences. But karma, Come on. People get away with things all the time. People get away with horrible things all the time. So, can't say that's necessarily karma. People say, oh, karma always catches up to you. Da, 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 da. Well, then, what's that saying that good people lose in this world? You have to be smart, you have to be strategic, you have to have ambition and a plan in mind when you do things. So, nice people, what do they get? Is that karma? Think about it. That is an illusion, and it's definitely gonna hold people back. LOUN. I love that. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, karma used to be something that I believed in, but especially as I grew, I was just like, yeah, but how did I get karma if I did everything right? Sometimes things just happen. You can't, things must go up, they must go down. And a lot of times when you have your goal in mind and you're being strategic and you're not making dumb moves and dumb decisions to risk everything you have, you get very far. But also keep in mind, it's about the journey, not the destination, they say. So karma, you can easily transmute that into I learned a valuable lesson and I grew, I evolved, and I know not to make the same mistake. A lot of people say who come from the streets, they might change their whole life around and have a very successful life, but they could have did a lot of horrible things. And does that mean that they become into a doormat? Does that mean that they're going to totally transform from this hardcore person to a total, you know? But no, it's not. It's not that they became like somebody to just walk all over. It's that they made better decisions for themselves. Are you a spiritual person? Everybody's a spiritual person. It's 2025. You still think you're just a body and a brain and stuff? You don't understand energy and stuff? No? Everything is spiritual. I don't mean to be funny. I'm serious. I'm so serious. I feel like I smoked too long of a blunt and it's really quiet in here. Like I don't hear anything but me in this DM live. Being on live is always like so bittersweet for me because I have to watch everything I say, but like no editing. So I like it. And I also like being able to interact with people. But yeah. If people made better decisions most of the time, they wouldn't even if they experience adversities, it wouldn't be able to affect them as much if they just made better decisions. So and I understand like some things are wrong place, wrong time, but even then I feel like again, mind over matter. It's like are you anticipating bad things to happen to you or do you believe that bad things can happen to you? Because I do not believe that bad things can happen to me. I believe I'm very protected. And when you're the universe that you are a part of, this energy, this source that you are a part of is doing everything that it can to work with you when you work with you. Exactly. See that strategic thinking and that planning. We don't want to be planning our downfall. And I always talk about mental exercises. Doing mental exercises is essential. Essential because a lot of times, because of a lot of the programming and conditioning, um, I honestly think, you know what's so funny? So this kind of goes into it, right? When you watch celebrities go up and down in their career, right? You call a lot of times it's acting. And the crazy part is, do you remember when they said celebrities were under MK Ultra mind control? Now they say that everything has is they say that life is a stage and everything is real. What do you think that is? If MK Ultra mind control a lot of times was putting people on drugs and putting on music that repeated the same things over and over and over again until they believed it. And a lot of the music that people listen to is repetitive, low vibrational things. What is that? So, mental exercises is important because you have free will. That's the thing. Nobody's controlling you. So you can choose what you listen to. You can choose what you eat. You can choose what you think. If you have a negative thought, you can choose to acknowledge it or ignore it. Very simple. A lot of people do this when they feel like it, when they should do it in all aspects of life. That is not me, guys. That's my chair. But lately, it's been a lot easier for me. Well, yeah, lately it's been a lot easier for me to be very soothed when it comes to adversities because I don't be worried about it. I've seen it before, heard it before. It's not going to affect me. I'm not acknowledging it, I'm not giving it energy. I have other things that are truly important to me. And when you have things that are truly important to you, think about detail. Why would you be paying attention to something that is going to negatively impact it? Think positive all the time. Positive all the time. And even though that choosing to indulge in negativity is by choice. The most important thing to me it's too hot for me on this side of the house. I don't like it. But is my son and me. But like, of course, my own individuality and self first, because that is what keeps everything going. I feel like that's important questions that people should be asking themselves, honestly. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, Jamal. Go daddy. Yeah, I think it's very important for me. It's always ever since I was younger, it's been important for me to make a difference. And I noticed that the biggest difference that I make is when I work on myself and my vibration is higher, so that the people that I come across in life and what I give out into the world is as positive as possible, because that's what I always wanted since I was a little girl. But I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You know, I don't even know if I was gonna know that song, but whatever. Yes, children are angels, and the most beautiful part about children is like you know that you can raise them to be better than you, especially if you do a good job. They're supposed to be. I mean, that's funny. I wouldn't say you protect children from the world, because when you pass away, then what? I think it's about, like I said in my last video, for all of my workings and even some of my schedules are just how I feel that day, which usually is very imaginative anyway. Um, I have a book just for him to read. You know what I'm saying? Um, Things that he can reference that will help him in life when he grows up. I think stuff like that is important. You can't shield your kids from the world. What you have to do is, I think, it's like, no, for kids it's the same either way. Honestly, I feel like kids are kids. When they grow up, that's different. But kids are kids, and I would say kids need to be raised to be intelligent individuals who can either create or contribute properly to the world, and to themselves, most importantly. And when I say to the world, again, like, I'm not talking about in any pushover type of way. Do what you need to do, have strategic thinking, um, manipulate things to work in your favor. Karma is not real unless you're making stupid decisions to get yourself stupid prizes. But other than that, what I mean contributing good things into the world is, I feel like conversations like this, because this is more so about emotional intelligence, how to have a wealthy mindset, and of course always be thinking generational. Think big, not small. You know what I mean? Exactly. Prepare them for the world. That's all you can do. Hmm. I, huh? Prepare them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody situation looks different, but I myself like being my own individual, but I am easy to work with. So, and man, I must say that I think the weed that I got, I mean, the parsley that I got was called, it was something Sugar LA, and it was really good. I'm gonna get the bottle. It's literally on my dining room table, but I'm telling y'all, do in case you haven't noticed, in case you haven't noticed, but yeah, I think that I always had my own. I was just talking about this life's stigmas, and I feel like it's important that everybody is living a healthy life according to what a healthy life looks like for them. So whether you're single, you're married, as long as it's healthy, that is what's important. But and that goes right back into what I was talking about, because even when it comes in like I said, karma is an illusion, because you don't want to walk around teaching your kids karma, and they are good people to everyone, and people use them and take advantage of them, or I don't know, they do favors and get nothing in return. You don't want to teach your kids things like karma. Because people always say like, oh, if you do something good, or if you give the church this, it's like you don't want to just be teaching your kids that these life stigmas again, of what things are supposed to look like. You want to teach your kids what's healthy and what's beneficial to them. Because I notice a lot of people, they make a lot of unhealthy decisions a lot of times because they were taught that being a good person makes them a saint. It makes them pure. And that is just not always the case. Boundaries and what you want, again, what's beneficial to you, your future, that is what's really important. Mm. Well, I mean, I think it's not, I think do right is about, like I said, what's beneficial to you, right? Because people can look at things in a lot of different ways. For example, like do right to someone can end up being taken advantage of, or do right to someone, or in general can turn into overextending, exhausting themselves. Because a lot of times in this life, let's be real, if you do right to someone off bat, and especially off bat, and you don't know them, and if you're expecting a positive outcome, you just might not always get that. What goes around comes around. I don't believe in all that type of stuff. Like I said, up and down, seasons change, but karma's not real. If karma was real, a lot of people would be in jail. A lot of justice would be done. How is, I don't understand how people believe that. Especially I don't know how many I don't know how many wealthy people believe in karma. I feel like that's like a very Christian almost mindset. I mean, because it's like I said. So for example, right? Sorry, I'm listening to my dog. I mean, my neighbor's dog, Nyla. Okay, so for example, like I know people who are in bad situations because they believe in karma. They believe that if they put themselves first and not think with love and emotion, that they will get a better outcome. They believe that it makes them pure. And a lot of times, people like that get used and abused, so it actually makes them very impure. They lose a sense of individuality, which makes them even more impure. And they end up having like no type of sense of self, no goals. You don't want to become a background character of your own life. So putting yourself first and not most of the time doing things to benefit other people. If people cannot benefit you, I don't understand that. Especially for, I mean, I don't know, you have a son, that's different. But even then, like, I wouldn't have that type of conversation with my son, say if it came to um I don't know how to explain it. If it came to like doing something positive for school that might benefit him, that might potentially get him a scholarship, might potentially get him in an honors class, I would say step up to the plate and do that. That will benefit you. If you think, maybe talking to your teacher more, if you notice your teacher likes this, if you notice your teacher may wanted to have a group and not a lot of kids want to join, taking initiative to start this. That is stuff that I would teach my kid, but not like, oh, help this one kid who doesn't really like doing work or paying attention in class. If you ask them to join the extra activities that you want to do that can get you a certificate, honors class, whatever, he doesn't want to do it. No, no, I wouldn't say do that. I would say you can be an example. Examples are the perfect thing because people have choices to make at the end of the day. So you don't want to be the person who thinks that they can make a choice for somebody else, or yeah, exactly that. Because even like I said, here's another reverse way to put it. If I didn't want him to step up to the plate, say if there is someone who's really mean to him, who may be in a position of power, and they may want him to kiss his behind, I would tell him how to work around it in an assertive way. But you don't ever kiss someone's behind, especially if it's not going to benefit you. If nothing's at risk, if you haven't done anything wrong for them to take something away from you, don't move in fear. I mean, in situations like that, don't be a pushover. The sine wave? No. But I think it's very important to be thinking always out of the box and not in. Because, for example, the man who created school said that he created school for workers, not thinkers. The man who created school never went to school. He never got any consequences for this. He's dead. But I bet you he inherited wealth from it. Did he do anything illegal? Did he do anything that someone can... What can you say? When people talk about karma, they have to remember stuff like that. Because till this day, he's still creating workers. I actually, I have literally like a certificate for it in my school. In my room. I spoke for the prison to pipeline youth advocacy foundation, and it was dope. I was a part of that for a really long time. I've sat back and thought about this stuff for a really long time, and I've watched it. So that's why I'm like very sure of, and I know it's true. I mean, it's in your face. And that's another thing, why habits and mental exercises are so important, because alchemizing your life is so important. Transmuting things and evolving is essential to life. because you don't want to be stuck getting distracted by stupid things when they have books and videos like this right on your phone. But you're too busy stuck in a different side of the world, of the internet, of your mind, to acknowledge the truth. And here's the thing about it. A lot of people go down this rabbit hole. That's a lot of time what happens too. Like a lot of you guys do do know a lot of this information, but you still can't decode what you know what I'm saying? Because if you know all of this information, why does it not relate back to your very life? I mean, I think I'm a type. I've always said I'm the type of person who likes to pay attention to details. So it's like a honeycomb mind, they call it. And it's like if you break a honeycomb, it becomes fragmented. And that's almost kind of what happens with people's mind. You want to be able to connect every thought and everything together, because that's why sometimes you just never want to get stuck in one area or break things off, because you always want to be able to connect things in order for it to make sense, so that when you ask yourself certain questions, you're not stuck on stupid and contradicting things. And even then, like morals and all that, everything has to benefit you. If you want to live a good, positive life, you have to live a life that benefits you. You can't live a good, positive life or be a good, positive person if you're not doing things that actually benefit you. And see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of the things that we're seeing getting exposed, and we can call this karma, is simply because people don't know how to decode things properly. People always steal and do plagiarism. I was just saying this, how people like to steal my thoughts and ideas all the time. And I'm like, it's clear that they didn't go to school, because that's called plagiarism. And when you do this though, and you interpret things through a different mind, you decode and read things wrong. And that's why everything is happening, because people didn't truly do things to benefit them. People thought very third dimensional and backwards. So when people ask me things like, are you spiritual? I'm like, it's just life. This is what it's always been. And they've been putting it in your face, and we've been reading into everything wrong. We've been taking everything too literal. Oh, cognitive. That's what she said. Yeah. See, you call it that. I just call it the honeycomb mind. It's like they broke it in fragments. It's working in certain parts, but over here it broke off, and then it's working over there, but it still don't make sense because that other part didn't connect. Oh my goodness. No, but it's very funny. I mean, I think that's why, again, it's important to have your own individuality and be able to be by yourself, depending on what type of person you are too. Everybody is their own individual. Not everybody's honeycomb is going to connect. Some parts are going to be broken for people, but when yours does, being around people who constantly are having their own projections and stuff onto you, it's like kind of annoying. So if you don't have to deal with it, I would say you shouldn't. If you don't have to deal with people putting their third dimensional mindsets on you, then just stay away from them. Well, that's why things should benefit you. Because now I'm sitting here, you don't benefit me, you talking about this BS. that doesn't benefit me, that's giving me the wrong mindset, to making me think small. I'm trying to think big. Like, come on now. Come on now. No, right, exactly. Right now. And see that, and that's another thing, and that's why I said you don't have to push ideologies and be a good person so much and teach people this, teach people that. People who seek higher people who seek source and higher information and intelligence and want to expand their life, they will find it. You don't have to drag them. You don't have to force them. You don't have to be super nice to them and a pushover in order for them to get it. What's up, Florida? What's up? How you doing? I know. Sadly, you popped in towards the end and we had a whole conversation about this karma, but hopefully you get high. That's what I really be like. I don't know if you guys get these videos yet, but I need you to get into it. Like, just smoke a blunt. I've been beautiful. Just smoke a blunt and just listen. Be like, damn, she kind of right. Working hard. I love that for you. Yeah, but I've been beautiful. I feel like I was going full pace, postpartum and all. So I've definitely just been kind of, I don't know if you can probably tell just by the way that I'm talking, but I've just been kind of like in my own little moment. Well, you don't have to smoke to listen to me. Like, you can be doing a task. If you're I'm the type of person who likes to do things and maybe listen to something in the background, or even, excuse me, my Nana, she would drive and listen to like the radio, like crime scenes and stuff like that. So think of me like that. I'm a DVD player, bringing it back. Am I bringing it back or is it coming back? But and I swear, it's so funny, right? Because I had this conversation with myself. I was like, when I grew up, I loved animals. I loved animals so much. And now that I'm a mom and I'm just living my own life, I have responsibilities and I have fun on top of that. I'm like, I had to get rid of my cats. One, because they did not like my son. Like, they didn't do anything to him, but they were just pooping and peeing everywhere. It was ridiculous. I've never dealt with something like it. They started it when I was pregnant. By the time he came here, I was like, oh, y'all got to go. But I remember verbatim feeling like I was going to get karma, because my whole life loving animals, as many pets as I've had, I've never, ever, ever got rid of any of my animals. But this time, I said, the heck with that. They got to go. And I felt bad. And that's another thing. I felt bad. So, I mean, you can feel bad for things if you want, but I suggest you don't. I don't anymore, clearly. Like I said, the mental exercises I've done, I summed it up to, I don't care. These animals were crazy and they were driving me crazy. I love animals, but not all of them, because that was crazy. And I mean, like, I felt like I have emotional, not emotional. Well, yes, emotional. See, because you can say that's spiritual, but it's an emotional connection that I had with animals since I was a child. So when I kick them out, of course, I'm going to feel like I did something wrong and I'm going to get karma for it. But really, that's just my emotions telling me that. In all reality, the damn cats were out of control and they got chance after chance after chance when I should have kicked them out the first time, because the places that they were going, Anybody else, everybody else that I told said you should have kicked them out the first time. But you don't have, and that's another thing, you don't have to listen to what other people say. Listen to yourself. Did it benefit you? I don't smell any poop and pee. Sounds like it benefited me. I'm sure it was a cold winter. I'm sorry, I tried to get rid of them. Nobody would pick those cats up. I tried my best. I said I can't keep them locked away and stuff. They have to just go. So I just let them go. I just let them go. Nobody would come get them animals. Next time I'm going to drop them off to the shelter, though. Now that I think about it, I should have did that. But I feel like, isn't that worse? I think I did think about that. And I said to myself, if I was an animal, don't even bother throwing me in a cage. Just put me outside. I'm cute. I got better chances of getting picked up by somebody. How many pets do you have now? 0. That's my grandmother's dog. She's in Jamaica. I'm babysitting her dog. Zero. I was thinking about getting a lizard or gecko though, or something very peaceful. Oh, why didn't I go to Jamaica? Because I have a son and I have well, I'm not going to tell you why. It's my business. I have things going on. I have things to prepare for. I have things going on, things that I need to prioritize. So I don't have time to travel right now, sadly. But as soon as I get the chance. But you know what's very funny? I've already been to Jamaica like 2-3 times. So I want to go back because I have a very, very, very spiritual connection with Jamaica. When I was in Jamaica, I was talking to the sun and I was crying to the sun. I was a little girl on the balcony of the resort looking out at like the water and the trees. It was so beautiful. And the sun, it was morning and the sun was shining really bright in Jamaica. And I just remember I was talking to the sun, I was crying to the sun, like just really expressing to myself to the sun, because growing up, I found out very quickly that I'm not Christian. So I didn't know exactly what it is, but I was just doing, my body was doing what it was supposed to do naturally. So that's what I was doing. And I remember after I got up from talking to the sun, I became a woman. So Jamaica and me, I really like Jamaica. I got my out of the country. Like where they do that? You know, for real though, like that was that's forever going down in history. Nobody's telling me nothing. I am in America. I'm in Boston, East Coast, baby, from the East Side, and it's so funny because I'm from the East Side, and so is my mother, but she was raised by very Southern people. So I guess like a lot of pieces of our family was very Southern from the South. And that was integrated very heavily into my mom and into me as well. But at the same time, I still did grow up East Coast. So I have like these two different sides of yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, sweetie, honey. Why would you do that? Go, you know what I mean? Like, just the etiquette is much different than like you see this right here alone, this is East Coast. But yes, Southern hospitality. I mean, it's funny though, because let's be real. So they're very nice, nasty in the South. And that's one thing that I've mastered as an adult, that I feel like people on my side of town, that's why a lot of times I stand out to people around here, because East Coast can be more rugged and just urban and city, but you can even be nasty and nice at the same time. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I think even there's different ways to communicate that too. Like, I think Beyonce communicates that beautifully. She literally ignores every piece of hate that she gets, and then she makes songs about it. That's the only response y'all have ever gotten from Beyonce is music. That right there is that nice nasty. That's what I mean. Like, she said something, but she put it in the song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Beyonce. I do like Beyonce. I think, I mean, for me personally, I think she's a little bit too she has that like perfect image too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in a bad way. Like, I think it looks good on her. But for me personally, I don't relate to that part of her. But I definitely feel like her woman empowerment. I mean, she's a fierce woman. Like, that's a whole different topic, because it's like like that whole fierce energy of a woman. A lot, like, I remember one time I was compared to like a lion. It's like, y'all wouldn't, I don't think it's something that men would fully understand, but you should look up the Amazon woman. That's kind of the energy that she kind of gives me, but she plays a lot with the Orishas, so that's probably why she can maybe intimidate people. It comes off as a leopard kind of voodoo work too, but so like I noticed she likes Oshan. What else? Yamaha. So she be messing around with the African goddesses a lot. She got a big ego. Oh, oh. I said by accident. No, but Beyonce is not scary. She's just fierce. And she's very smart. Okay, but y'all, how long I've been on here, matter of fact? Yeah. um, do you think that do I give little girl energy or something? I think it's the outfits and stuff. But guys, did you see that? I can't even fall back. There's like no room for me to fall back, but it shook. I'm about to get off of here. I've been on here for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got what you needed to get out of it. Next time, I'm going to come up here like a little bit less high. I literally had a feeling that I might be a little bit too high. But at the same time, I messed with it because I was very... I was taking my time when I was speaking. So I love when I do that. Like in my decoding and decoding video, I can't stand when I get on here and I start like rambling like crazy. Like I'm like, because I really get like that because that's how my mind is. So I get to really jumping like and getting hype with it. I'm like da 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 da. So da 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 da. Like I be getting into it, y'all. So I'm glad I came up here high. Actually, I was very relaxed and soothed because I don't always like having super fierce energy like that. But y'all, thank you for watching. This is Ani's World. My social medias are in my bio, so follow me on my Instagram. It's literally OCT 11777. So October, but not the whole thing, just OCT 11777. It was a pleasure kicking it with you as well. Thank you for watching. If anybody wants to join me as well, I have that in my bio, like on YouTube. Usually I put it in my description too, but like, guys, that blunt was really good, so I don't know if I'll be doing that this time. But I appreciate any amount of support that I get, even liking, commenting, subscribing, and especially sharing. Like, hello, sharing never hurts. If you here and you with it, post it on your Instagram, post it. Thank you. This is Ani's World. Next time.